Hey everybody, Billy Bob here. It's Sunday, Funday. I'm in the house. Not because it's not a beautiful day outside, but it's very windy. And I didn't want to mess up the modulation, so to speak. So we're doing it in here, then getting ready to go outside. Got a big day. There's some golf on, there's the Olympics on. But most importantly, because it only happens once a year, it's the Daytona 500 at Daytona International Speedway, the world center of speed. 31-degree bankings in the corners, 18-degree banking on the front stretch, 500 miles, 200 laps. Going to be crazy side by side, 2 and 3 wide. And I'm sure there'll be a few accidents. And we'll see if there's the big one. Anyway, that all kicks off. Coverage is at 1:30. Green flag is at 2:13. They moved it up an hour, so pay attention if you're watching this and you're going, Billy Bob, you got the times all messed up. No, I don't. They moved it up an hour because there's the potential for late in the day rain. And they did not want to have rain get in the way of the 500, and hopefully it won't. So I'm filming this right around 12:15, so get your times right. 2:13, green flag, Daytona 500. So hey, yesterday was Valentine's Day. Didn't do a video because it was Valentine's Day and took the day off. But I thought I'd recap some of the things. There's the usual, well, not usual, don't take anything for granted. This is Billy Bob and I. We exchanged Valentine's cards, hugs and kisses. I grilled steak, and we bonded early in the day. We bonded. We watched Barbie together. That's right. Billy Bob watched Barbie, and actually it was cute. Okay, and there's a message in there of, you got to do your own thing. You got to grow on your own. Ken and Barbie, they weren't Ken and Barbie lovers. They're Ken and there's Barbie. And they had to learn how to watch the movie. Okay, watch the movie. But it isn't all loves and hugs and kisses on Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day, St. Valentine, the Feast of St. Valentine, celebrated every year on February 14th. But and this goes all the way back to 8th century, the Feast of St. Valentine, and then in the 14th and 15th centuries, it became more of the courtly, the love and the flourish and the lovebirds in early spring. So, but, there's also some darkness with Valentine's Day. And so darkness here in America, but darkness with the history of Valentine's Day. So, we all know, like I said, it's time for love and kisses, but somewhere back in the day, the Romans, and we all know the Romans weren't always the best people, right? I know Roman Catholics, Roman this, Roman that, but the Romans weren't always, peaches and cream. So from February 13th to 15th, the way the story goes for Dark Valentine, it celebrated the feast of Lupercalia. Okay, let me do this. Lupercalia. Right? The men sacrificed a goat and a dog, and then they whipped the women. Valentine's Day, right? They whipped the women with the hides of animals that they had just slain. And it says the Roman romantics were drunk, they were naked, and then they hit the young women would line up for the men to hit them. And they believed, so the thinking behind this was that this would make the women fertile. And then they put a matchmaking lottery together, and so it goes. So that was all kind of crazy stuff, right? And then in America, we had the St. Valentine's Day Massacre in 1929 during Prohibition. Supposedly on February 13th, Bugs Moran, George Bugs Moran was supposed to get a shipment of whiskey. And, you know, like I said, this is during Prohibition, so all the whiskey is sold illegally. There's speakeasies. But anyway, there was a setup in a parking garage, and this was all part of Chicago's North Side gang. It also included Al Capone, who Al Capone supposedly orchestrated this massacre, and George Bugs Moran was supposed to be one of the guys getting massacred, but it was 7 of his people. They were lined up against the wall. They were shot with a Tommy gun or a Thompson submachine gun. Like 70-some shots, and then a shotgun that supposedly only fired 1 shot but killed at least 1 or 2, hit 2 of the guys. But some of them were dressed up like cops. And so actually Bugs Moran was coming around the corner and he saw a police car and he decided to duck into a coffee shop just to be inconspicuous. So this happened in Chicago's Lincoln Park, again on the north side. And that's what's going on. That's what went on Valentine's Day yesterday in the backyard. That's what went on way back in the day from the Romans. And that's what happened in 1929 in Chicago's Lincoln Park, the north side, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. And that's what I got on this Sunday fun day. Enjoy the race, enjoy the golf, enjoy the Olympics, or maybe just enjoy each other's company. However you want it, just do it. America, land of the free because of the brave. Stay focused, America. Billy Bob, peace.